Hey guys, so today you're going to be practicing multiplying mixed numbers along with this video, doing mixed numbers times fractions and a few mixed numbers times mixed numbers. You should have your pencil and this record sheet that you're seeing on the screen. If you don't have those things, pause the video and go get them. And when you're ready, basically how we're going to do this today is you're going to see the question on your paper and on the screen. You're going to solve it on your paper and then you're going to hit play in order to see the answer. And then whenever you've heard the final answer for that question, you're going to pause, do the next question, and come back and check. So basically this video is for you to check your work. So make sure you do the work first, then come to this video in order to check your answer. Okay, so go ahead and pause and solve this first question, 2/5 times 3 2/3. Remember to change that mixed number into an improper fraction before you start multiplying. Okay, so for your first answer, guys, let me get my pen ready here. Okay, so for your first answer, you're going to have 2/5 times the improper fraction of 3 times 3 is 9, plus 2 is 11/3. So when you go and solve this, you're going to have 22/15. Okay, and your final answer, when you fix that improper fraction, will be 1 7/15. No reducing necessary. Okay, go ahead and hit pause. And when you come back, you'll be solving the next question, 5/6 times 1 1/4. So your second problem was 5/6 times 1 1/4. So when you change that mixed number, it becomes 5/6 times 5/4. And when you solve, there's nothing to cancel ahead of time, so you have 25/24. And when you fix that improper fraction, you get a final answer of 1 1/24. Okay, go ahead and pause and solve the third question. Okay, so your third question was 2/3 times 3 1/4. So you end up with 2/3 times 13/4. 4 times 3 is 12, plus 1 is 13. There is nothing to get. Well, actually, you could cancel the 2 and the 4 ahead of time, but I decided not to do that. So I ended up with 26/12. And when you fix that improper fraction, you end up with 2 2/12. And 2/12 can be reduced to 1/6. So your final answer is 2 1/6. If you would have reduced ahead of time, you would have ended up with 13/6, which whenever you fix that, you would have ended up with the exact same answer of 2 1/6. Okay, go ahead and pause and solve the next question. Okay, guys, so your next question was 1 1/4 times, let me get this in the screen here, was 1 1/4 times 1 2/5. Okay, so I did this one two different ways. First, I changed it into an improper fraction. So 1 1/4 became 5/4, and 1 2/5 became 7/5. I cross-canceled or reduced the 5s and changed them right into 1s. So in doing that, I ended up with an answer of 7/4, which then I had to change to a mixed number, and I got 1 3/4. If I wouldn't have canceled or reduced that ahead of time, I would have just had 5 times 7 is 35. So we're looking at this second option over here. So 5 times 7 is 35, and 4 times 5 is 20. When I fix that and change that improper fraction to a mixed number, I end up with 1 15/20. When I reduce that by the common factor of 5, then I would still get 1 3/4. So your final answer there should be 1 3/4. Okay, go ahead and hit pause and solve the next question. And when you're ready, come on back. Okay, guys, so for this problem, hold on, I'm going to erase a few things to get it out of the way here. Okay, so for this problem, we have a whole number times a mixed number. So what we have to do first is take that 3 and put it over 1 so it looks like a fraction, and then we have to do 1 3/8 into an improper fraction. So 8 times 1 plus 3 is 11/8. And when you solve that, you end up with 33/8. And then whenever you fix that improper fraction, your final answer should be 4 1/8. Okay, go ahead and pause, solve the last question. Okay, guys, final question here. So final question, we have a mixed number times a mixed number, so we have to change both of these to improper fractions. So 1 4/5 is going to become 9/5. 2 3/4 is going to become 11/4. There's no reducing to do ahead of time, so we just have to multiply numerator times numerator, and we get 99/20. And whenever I do the division, in order to make that a mixed number, 99 divided by 20 is 4. Whenever I get my remainder, it ends up being 19/20, which cannot be reduced because they are side by side. So at the top of the paper, it asks you to write in a total amount that you had correct. So there were 6 questions. I want you to write a number up there of how many out of 6 you had correct. And please make sure that your name is also filled in, and then turn this paper in. Okay, after you do all that, head into IXL and do those fraction links.